ECU?
R.
Do you believe purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
Welcome in, Hoist the Colors on a Friday. Pirate Baseball gets a victory to open a key series. We'll dive into that. The conference race tightens as a result with 2 regular season games remaining. We'll break down the scenarios there. And a whole lot more. The NFL schedule is out. The NHL, NBA playoffs continue. And we also have to get the take of one Bobby Harward on the Pirates opening their season at Alabama, 12 noon Eastern time. Will Bobby be in Tuscaloosa? We'll ask him here in a minute. Bobby, who you brought to you by again today? I've already forgotten.
Basil's.
Basil's, okay.
The great hibachi skewer salad.
Basil's, check him out. I'll tell you what, I am going to take my soon-to-be 5-year-old son to see the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and might have to hit up Basil's over by AMC Movie Theater because it's a great spot for lunch. And check them out, man. Sandwiches, pasta, salads, they got it all at Basil's. So looking forward to that. We'll see if he can sit through the movie when the time comes. All right. Philip Pilkington producing today. Bobby Harward in studio. We also have interns Kayleen and Mary hanging out as well. So we got a packed house. And Bobby, I guess we'll start with ECU baseball, unless you want to dive into the Washington Commanders schedule. But
Nah, fans probably would rather listen about hear us talk about baseball.
Yeah. Lane Smith is back, baby. He's in the chat. Big win. UAB sweep incoming. Pirates going to sweep FAU and win first place. I mean, this. Look, we said going in, Philip and I both predicted ECU to lose the series, and nothing's done yet. We have seen this team as recently as at Memphis get a victory on Friday and then lose the next two games to lose the series. But FAU had won 5 consecutive series. They had also won 5 consecutive Friday night games. Of course, this was a Thursday night game, but Friday in a sense of series opener. ECU finds a way, got a little tight late. Crazy game. ECU wins at 7-5. They get 13 hits, big home run, pinch hit, 2-for-2 performance from Braden Bachman, the freshman. Ryan Towers continues to deliver. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run that was not earned, 4 strikeouts, had a little command issues but battled that. 3 walks, 101 pitches. He's continued to pitch well. And then ECU just kind of outlasted FAU. James Littman, their Friday night guy, their series opener, good pitcher, got him out after 5 innings. Then they hit one of FAU's best relievers, left-hander Zach Kilby. And then, we can never make it easy. I don't know if you watched the 9th inning, Bobby, but they put in Joseph Webb, single, walk. They go to Colby Wallace, which I like. He didn't pitch bad at all. CNI single, ground ball at the first baseline that hits the bag. Would have ended the game. Hit the first base bag, bounces high into the air for an RBI single, but then he comes back to get the next out. I thought for sure after that fluky single, the next dude was going to hit a walk-off 3-run jack. So I'm glad ECU found a way.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been how this season's kind of gone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they are still lucky, though, that those errors didn't cost them. I mean, they definitely had to make this game more interesting than it needed to be. But, I mean, first off, kudos to Ryan Towers. He's continued to fill in a huge gap that we've needed him to fill in with all the injuries, and I think has performed probably above expectations at this point.
He's really saved ECU on the mound because, Norby's been good, but he hasn't been maybe the dominant guy every time out. And, without Towers going 5, 6, 7 innings, think about how bad it would be now with the injuries.
Oh, dude, it would be. I mean, it's roulette with the relief, the bullpen right now because, even we saw it last night with Joe Webb. Some outings he comes in and is on and is fantastic, and then you have other outings like that. He lasts a third of an inning.
You just never know sometimes, and we'll see what happens. Ethan Norby on the mound tonight. It'll be another 6:30 first pitch. Philip Pilkington behind the glass. Philip, you had to produce for this one, and I'm sure they got you a little nervous there in the bottom of the 9th when you were ready to wrap it up. But good to see the Pirates start this series with a much-needed win.
Yeah, it is. When you're an East Carolina baseball fan or East Carolina fan in general, you can't have nice things, right? We knew something was gonna happen, but man, the grit, it kind of felt like it was there, and
Yeah.
we've questioned maybe the heart of some of these guys and the way the post game interview went. Ryan Towers not one of those guys we're gonna question the heart of. I don't know if you guys heard it, but where he came out and said like, this team's great. This team can beat anybody that we want to beat. But actually, I don't know, real quick, do you mind if I actually play this? Because
Yeah,
this is actually
you got it.
really
Let's play
good.
it. I didn't hear it. I heard
Yeah.
Cliff, but not Towers.
Yeah, this is actually really good. So let's just, here we go.
We know what we're playing for. And, everything that's happened so far this season is in the past. We know what we're playing for, and we know that we can win. And we know that when we show up and we play our brand of baseball and we go after people and we've got a little bit of attitude to us, that we could beat anyone in the country. And so, we just got to show up every day with that attitude, with a little bit of flair. And I think people are going to be very surprised with how far this team goes.
Not that I ever really questioned Ryan Towers. I've always said a lot of the pitchers, they compete. But, man, like, that's what you want to hear. Like, this team can do it. They know they can do it. It's just a matter of playing competent baseball, using a round bat to hit a round ball square and catching the ball when it's thrown to you, especially when it's like playing catch in the yard.
We did have a drop pickoff.
Yeah, I think you know who I'm talking about. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Catch the ball. So, see, here's stuff like that. It's like, man, can everybody act like Ryan Towers? Can everybody carry themselves like Ryan Towers? Because if they did, it's a talented baseball team. Is it a host team? No, especially with the injuries. But this is a comfortably in talent team, in my opinion. They're the 30th best team in the country, probably, talent-wise. They just don't play like it.
I love what Towers said. First off, probably the best interview on the team. Great personality. I mean, it definitely helps. His dad was a big league pitcher. He knows what to say. Josh Towers from back in the day, and look, he gets on the mound. He's pretty small, but like he is on the mound with presence. He's got his weird little like rocker step. He said he doesn't even know how it started. He just like started doing it, and but it gives him like some flair, some confidence on the mound. And Bobby, like from being on a coaching staff, you can try as a coach to like tell the players, hey, you got to believe in yourself, confidence. But like some guys just have that little bit of it factor, the mentality. And like last night, they at least got back to it. They competed in the box, a lot of foul balls, a lot of tough at bats, even when they didn't get hits. But like that mentality has been hit or miss game to game. I do like that Towers is kind of hitting on that. It's late in the season, but at least he recognizes it as a player.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, you mentioned it. It's one of those things like when you're coaching, you can't really coach them to do that, to have that attitude. It's kind of ingrained in them or it's not. And you hope there's enough guys around him that it is ingrained in that team and in that roster with enough guys that people kind of follow suit. But, I mean, and especially with baseball, man, baseball is probably more mental than any of these other sports that we talk about regularly. Like, you can easily get in your head. It's kind of like being a kicker in football all over, whether you're on the mound or you're in the batter's box. Like, it is just a mind screw if you're in a slump of some sort.
No doubt, and you see it. Guys go through the ups and downs as part of the season, but hopefully we can get enough guys trending in the right direction. And, yeah, we got a comment here, almost let it go again in the ninth. One guy who may be in a bit of a down spell, just watching his body language on the mound last night was Joseph Webb. He's going good. He's in a rhythm. He's attacking last night. This was his first appearance after the Rice Friday night game where, he didn't pitch that bad to the ninth inning, and then I think he just ran out of gas, and he just looked like he was a little hesitant out there. So I like that they went to Colby Wallace. Third appearance of the year, and at least he's been there, but he came in, threw strikes, got it done. And the bottom line is, Bobby, the bullpen with Jenkins out, with some of the other injuries, moving guys up into different roles, like it's just going to be, you're going to have to feel your way through it every night. I mean, Gavin Marley was at least really good out of the pen. I think he even pitched better than his line indicated, but it's going to be unknown from night to night.
Yeah, and I think they're 100% getting Wallace's arm warmed up for this next week ahead with the conference tournament, and that's why this second seed is going to be so crucial for them to lock up, because if they or winning that first game, because otherwise you're just playing whack-a-mole with who you're going to bring out and who's throwing that day and whether they're going to be on or not.
Looking deeper into the box score here, Grady Linehan, 3 for 5. He's hit the leadoff spot the last few games. Good to see him, get back to his rhythm after missing, I think it was 10 games with the latest injury, the broken nose. Hit some balls really hard, almost had a home run, ended up as a ground rule double, also had a hard hit ball that resulted in an out. So really good at bats for Grady Linehan. Colby Wallace looked silly his first AB in the second. Struck out, I believe, or maybe it was the first, struck out on 4 pitches. And I was like, man, this might be a tough night for Colby. Then he ends up getting on base in his last 4 plate appearances. 3 hits, a walk, the save. So all-around performance for two-way Colby Wallace. You also had Bachman, as I mentioned. Then Kalinic pinch hit and had a 2-run single. That was a big insurance run. Ended up being the difference in the ninth. Irby also added RBI later. So I do have a question for you guys as baseball people because we were debating this in the game thread. So if you didn't watch the bottom of the 8th, at the time it was a 4-2 game, runners on the corners with 2 outs. FAU, the batter had a 0-2 count with, I think it was Marley on the mound, and they sent the runner from first, basically gotten a run down on purpose to score the runner from third. Now ECU threw down, took the out, and traded it for the run, and still went into the ninth up 4-3. And a lot of people did not like the decision of ECU to concede the run. I can see it both ways. If you don't throw down, you're letting the tying run get into scoring position, and you're a bloop away from a tie game, versus now they have to put together something in the bottom of the ninth. So I don't know. We'll start with Phillip. You want to go?
Yeah. So 7, 8, 9 was due up in the bottom of the ninth. Okay, for them. They traded. You only get 27 outs. They traded the 24th out for a run in a game that runs were hard to come by. If they're going to do that, they're going to give you that free out. Take the out. Coach O and I talked about this. ECU handled it correctly, in our opinion. He even said it was a stupid move by FAU to do what they did. He said if you do that in the 6th, you do it in the 7th, he's okay. He said if you do it in the 5th, you do it in the 6th, okay. 7th, he thinks is fringe late. He thought 8th, that was dumb. He disagreed with FAU. I'm on Coach O's side with this. We agreed with ECU. Because, the out is guaranteed, and you got 7, 8, 9 due up. Also, ECU had 2, 3, 4 due up. Like, you're in a better part of your lineup than they are. Runs are hard to come by. No, I thought we handled it great. Yeah, just get the out. Again, like you said, a bloop, and then you're in a tie ball game. No, and we don't want to be going extra innings with anybody. We don't want to throw any more innings than we got to throw. I'm behind it.
So I guess it comes down to, well, first, Bobby, you give your take, and then I'll kind of make an argument too.
Yeah, I think, number one, I'm not going to disagree with Coach Overton.
Yeah.
He's forgotten more baseball than I know. So
Bobby Harvard disagrees with Coach O.
It's not happening. But the context of 7, 8, and 9 coming up for FAU, I think they 100% made the right move because, to me, it's either, like you said, you're either just eating it, not throwing the ball down to second base and letting them get in field or in scoring position, or you are making the throw. And at that point in time, it's not like Little League where you're going to throw it to second and then they're going to throw it right back home. Then you could really put yourself in a bind and screw yourself over. And with this team, we probably throw it to the backstop and then we have all sorts of chaos happening. But with 7, 8, and 9 coming up in the order, I'm all in favor of getting the out.
And ECU, for what it's worth, they did the same thing in the top of the ninth. They had first and third one out. They sent the runner. FAU did not throw down, and both runs ended up coming around to score. So, basically you're playing the odds. If you let them go, the odds of them getting a hit there to tie the game, what is that versus them starting with a clean inning down 1? Probably I would assume, and it'd be, if you had Sean Jenkins, it'd be a no-brainer. You take that out and then go to the ninth with a one-run lead. I would assume still the odds of getting a 2-out hit there would be just slightly above scoring a run, starting an inning fresh, but that's kind of what you're weighing. And I think that late in the game, to still have a guaranteed lead going to the ninth, you take the out to me. And look, it ended up being a moot point because both teams scored in the ninth, but it would have been fascinating to see what happened if it went 4-3, bottom 9. The complexion of the game changes a lot. So ECU finds a way to get it done. Tonight should be another really good pitching matchup. FAU throwing its number 2 left-hander really good, high strikeout numbers. ECU did hit some of their top bullpen guys, which is encouraging. So if they can get this young man out of the game tonight early, I feel good about it. Ethan Norby going for ECU. We'll see what he can do. He pitched well last week, and then that 3-run homer just bit him late. So need Ethan Norby to deliver tonight to hopefully wrap up a series win.
Do y'all got a question for y'all? Do y'all think Braden Bachman gets a start tonight after a pretty good day at the plate yesterday?
I'm going to say yes. And another point of contention was he had 2 hits, and then they pinch hit for him, but that was because they had a righty. This starter for them tonight is a lefty, so I think he starts.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and the pinch hit, it's Mr. Pinch Hit himself, Michael Klinich, so he delivered at least.
Cliff Godwin pushed the right buttons last night. You know, they had a safety squeeze they executed. There was a couple of squeezed bunts that they did not execute that he's not happy about, but last night, I know there was some questioning when he pitched it, Klinich, when he gave up the run for the out, but Pirates ended up winning at 7-5. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll look at the latest standings. Last night results really tighten this thing up even more. We'll tell you the ramifications of that and a whole lot more. This is Hoist the Colors.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arrgh!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors.
Ahar, matey!
Back to the show with Steve and I go on 94.3 The Game.
All right, segment 2 here. HTC back on a Friday. Heading to a eventful week of sports. Bobby Harward in studio, brought to you by Basil's today. Philip Pilkington producing, as always, behind the glass. And last night's results in the American changed the standings quite a bit, or had an impact on the standings quite a bit. ECU went into the weekend with a 2-game deficit out of first place in the conference behind UTSA. Well, last night, ECU wins. UTSA loses to UAB. UAB, all of a sudden, they're 2 games back of UTSA, and Rice is also in that mix as well. They beat Tulane handily, 14-11 in conference. So here's how it looks with 2 regular season games remaining. UTSA 16-9, first place. ECU 15-10, second place. UAB 14-11, third place. Rice 14-11, fourth place. Now Johnny's stats as well in the chat says that 1 Pirate win or 1 Memphis loss would guarantee a top 4 seed. As Memphis currently in 5th, they're 13-12. And, of course, if they tie with ECU, they would have a head-to-head tiebreaker. So East Carolina here definitely, at least at minimum, needs a top 4 seed. Ideally, with their position, need a top 2 seed. And really the only way to guarantee that is by winning the next 2 games. Also a combination, I believe, of an ECU win and a Rice loss would get them there as well. As UAB and ECU, if they were to tie, ECU would have the tiebreaker. Now, I do not know. Here's where it gets crazy. The conference doesn't really have stated tiebreakers on their website. You could have a 3-way tie, technically speaking, between UTSA, ECU, and UAB, or you could have a 4-way tie with Rice, UAB, ECU, and UTSA. If ECU were to split the next 2, UAB and Rice sweep, that would result in 4 teams finishing 16-11. Something to remember for the American Conference, they recognize co-champions. So even if, let's run a scenario where ECU and UTSA finish with the same record. If ECU wins the next 2 and UTSA split the next 2, that would put ECU at 17-10, UTSA at 17-10. They both would be regular season co-champions. Now, UTSA would be the number 1 seed, but ECU would still get a championship, which to me matters to the committee and obviously matters to the program. So all that, a lot of information, Bobby. Do you have any takeaways?
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby. That is the simple path.
Yeah, that takes care of everything else. That takes all the extra stuff out of it. If you just do your job and take care of what you have to do, then it's set in terms of what you want seating wise and that sort of thing. And I'll be honest with you though, saying all that, this team has been too shaky, too up and down for me to have confidence that we're not gonna split these last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is, I get if you ran the odds, you would probably say ECU most likely goes 1-1 the next 2 days. If you go 2-0, you're in great shape either way, no matter what happens around you. If you go 0-2, you're in trouble. You could end up playing on Wednesday. So there's just a lot at stake here. If you win today, you may have. I guess no matter what happens, if you win today, you'll technically have a chance at a championship going into Saturday. So. I don't know, Philip. What do you make of all this?
Well, the thing is, too, if you win today, you avoid playing Wednesday. You avoid that single elimination play-in game, so that's huge. Look, there's a big difference in being a top 2 seed and not being a top 2 seed. And I know the cliche is play your brand of baseball, control what you can control, all that. But no, seriously, they have got to find a way to not play till Friday. This team, if they play Thursday, and they play Friday, and they have any way they end up having to play 2 Saturday, they're not winning the championship. Now they could play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, go 3-0, and then maybe win Sunday, and some miracle win 4 in 4 days. But they're not coming out 4-1 if they play 5 games in 4 days. If there's some scenario where they play twice Saturday, I just don't see it happening because. And it's not just the injuries on the mound. Yes, the injuries on the mound are tough. You're going to have to find a way to piece together 45 innings. Do you have the hitting to go out there and back up what is going to be piecing stuff together on the mound? No, this team cannot hit the ball consistently enough to play extra games with, depleted arms. They've made some runs in this tournament, but last year, man, arms were depleted, but they could score 8 or 9 runs. That's not happening. So at the end of the day, I mean, would a share of the conference tournament be cool? Conference regular season be cool? Yeah, sure, whatever, it'd be great. But at the end of the day, find a way to not play till Friday. That's what matters. Win the game Sunday. Take it out of the committee's hand. Make it black and white, clear as crystal. There's no gray area. There's no resume talk. There's none of this crap. Win Sunday, And the only way you do that is if you're not playing until Friday.
Just win, as Bobby said. Easier said than done, of course, as other teams trying to do the same. But I think ECU in a good spot if it can find a way to get in that top 2 range. And basically, it comes down to this. Going to tonight, you're pulling for ECU, obviously, to beat FAU. You're pulling for UAB to beat UTSA, and you're pulling for Tulane to beat Rice. Rice is the team that scares you because if they finish tied with you, they will conceivably jump you into the standings if it's a head-to-head tie. Now, if it's a 3-way tie, I don't know what the exact tiebreaker scenarios are per baseball. Maybe Johnny Stats can head us, help us out there. Also, I guess Memphis, you want them to drop a game too. But if you win, you kind of take care of business there on your own. So, again, Tulane, you look at the bottom of the standings, they're playing for their lives as well. They got smoked last night. They're in a 3-way tie for last with Charlotte, Tulane, and South Florida. And the bottom 2 teams don't make the league. And at what point does FAU just punt on this series as well and start getting ready for the tournament? Because seems like, they still can get into the top 4, Bobby, but they're 12-13. Seems unlikely that Rice and UAB, they would catch them. I think UAB has the tiebreaker over them. I think they may have the tiebreaker over Rice. But either way, if you win today, maybe they just punt Saturday.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If the Pirates can get it done today, then they're not going to throw out their arms on Saturday. They're going to want to get them rest, and that would be my expectation at least.
Yeah.
I do have another question for y'all. Y'all may have discussed this, and I apologize if it was talked about earlier in the week. Let's just say, hypothetical, they split here today. What do they have to do in the tournament, in your eyes, to not get booed? I'm saying they're not winning the conference tournament. They split today. How many games do they have to win this next week to guarantee a spot in?
So they split the next 2 games.
Yep.
And go 2-1 in the series.
2-1 in the series.
I think you, at minimum, would have to get to the championship game without losing to at least have a shot. And even then, today ECU is 52 in the RPI. You really need to be top 45 to feel decent. I think you would be hovering around mid-40s if you get to championship Sunday without a loss.
Yeah, I think, honestly, contradicting what I just said, but that was to win the championship game. If you split, you hope you fall to 3. Therefore, you win Thursday, win Friday, win Saturday, lose Sunday. That way you stack 3 wins as opposed to only stacking 2 wins. But I think if you have some combination of 3 losses over the next 2 days and next week, it's over. So I think you definitely got to get there unscathed, but stack that extra win on Thursday it can do nothing but help. Well, I say it can do nothing but help you, but with how stupid RPI is, It's a neutral site game at least. I don't think we'd be punished for playing the game, especially if you're playing, some team that's, hopefully 100-ish in RPI, but maybe what I'm saying is wrong now that I think about how you can be punished for winning games.
And you kind of if you win the next 2, which I know wasn't your original question, Bobby, but if you win the next 2, then you obviously wouldn't need to play that extra game because you're getting enough points. So that's why you're getting, if you win today, you're getting around 20 something RPI points.
28.
FAU is still a quad 2 game on the road. They're 112 in RPI. Even if they lose the next 2, that would be 3 quad 2 wins, which would be a pretty big deal. Not the biggest deal, not the biggest needle mover, but at least it matters. So if you win the next 2, then I think same scenario applies. If you make the championship without a loss, then you feel knowing that you have John Gilbert in the room,
right,
gives you a shot. Because if ECU's on the bubble, like, are the other ADs, and this isn't like, I'm not saying John Gilbert would do this, but are the other ADs going to be like, hey, John, sorry, your team didn't make the cut? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's just a weird scenario. Like, at the end of the day, you got to put the human element in all this too.
That, and then you look at ECU's baseball pedigree, and they know they're money people. Like, they're going to say, hey, ECU fans are going to travel to a regional. They're going to fill seats, buy tickets, buy hotel rooms, all that kind of stuff. Like, ECU fans travel, so that's probably going to play into it as well. On the flip side of it, I'm saying if we go 0-2, we have to win the conference tournament. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I think you're done. You're toast at that point. You would have lost 3 consecutive series going in. Your RPI would probably be in the 60s. So I think so. And looking at the RPI of the league teams, I think the only one that would hurt you as of today to play in the conference tournament will be Wichita State. They are 158 in RPI. Tulane, too, if they make it, they're 139. Everybody else is basically 112 or above. Memphis 106, Charlotte 100, South Florida 70, UAB 64, Rice 75, UTSA 54. So decent RPIs across the board.
How Charlotte's season just completely flipped upside down. My goodness.
They threw up all over themselves and have not quite recovered. Although, I will say whoever makes it as the 8 seed between South Florida, Charlotte, Tulane is going to be dangerous just based on they can pitch. And we know what Tulane – if Tulane gets to Clearwater, Phillip, we know they're going to win at least 3 games.
Yeah, they're going to find a way. Oh, my goodness. He's going to save his
Joke
job.
Of the program, man.
Yeah, gosh. You know, the interesting one in there, too, I think, is South Florida. And, you know, Dylan and Coach O and I were talking about this last night during one of the breaks. It was like when you went into the season and you listed the teams, ECU, UTSA were the top 2. Then there was kind of a group of teams. South Florida was a part of that group. They came into this week not even controlling their own destiny to make the conference tournament. I mean, that's insane. So my point is they've underperformed. My point is I still think the roster is there, and we've seen flashes of it. There's a reason their RPI is decent. It's because they've handled themselves in some tough midweek games against good opponents. So, I mean, like, there are bad teams in this league. The crazy thing is the bad teams I feel like are not the ones who are on the cusp. Like Memphis is like the worst roster, but they're in. I think they clinched last night at least a spot to be in. So. Man, I don't know, man. It's weird. Somebody's going to go on a run.
We talk about how bad this league is, and maybe, I mean, it's not great, but South Florida did go 21-5 non-conference, 26 non-conference RPI, and they've been awful in the Americans, so maybe the Americans not terrible. Maybe it's just below average.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than it's been the last few years, which I think has piqued my interest just across the conference, honestly, from a baseball perspective. But, yeah, it still is not the greatest. Yeah.
Final thing here, we'll get a few comments in before we get a break in. Wanted to point this out. Johnny Stats, good call out. He says, Gavin Marley continues to throw strikes. 85% strike rate last night, falling 73 against Rice last weekend. And, yeah, I mean, when he's in the zone, he's got great stuff. It comes down to strike throwing for Gavin Marley. And Hunter says, is the run rule in effect for the conference tournament? It has been in the past, so I would assume it is this year as well. But I will double-check that, Hunter. But, yeah, definitely remember a lot of run rule games, both ECU run ruling teams and getting run ruled in the tournament in the past. All right, we'll get a break in. We'll come back. We'll switch gears. If you guys have any more baseball comments, drop them in the chat. We'll get to it. But otherwise, we'll move on, and we'll talk some NFL scheduling. Phillip and I finally know the date for Panthers-Broncos. Will we be able to make it in person? We'll discuss that. Bobby's Commanders. Who has the tougher start of the season, the Commanders or the Broncos with the schedule? It is brutal on both ends. We'll break that down. Talk about whatever else you guys want to hit on as well. This is Hoist the Colors on a Friday.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown. In Eastern North Carolina, people appreciate things that are straightforward, honest, and dependable. For decades, our team has focused on cutting through insurance complexity for the communities we serve. And now, we're bringing that same mindset to our name. We're Flatlands Insurance Group, a simpler name that reflects the same local team, the same values, and the same commitment to the great communities we feel blessed to be a part of. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world is covered.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Inner Banks Media presents the return of Concert on the Common.
This year, we're live from the tailgate lot at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Coming up May 21st, Trial by Fire, a tribute to Journey.
Join us Thursday, May 21st for Trial by Fire at the new Tailgate Plaza next to Town Bank Tower at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Details at concertonthecommon.org.
The hatches are battened down. Shivered. Our timbers are shivered. And the colors are hoisted. Back to Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right. There's our new rejoiner. Hoist the Colors on a Friday. Never know what you're going to get. Bobby Harward with us, brought to you by Basil's, Philip Pilkington producing, and interns Kayleen and Mary hanging out too as well. Got some big social media things on the horizon is the word. So looking forward to that in our upcoming weeks on 94.3 The Game social channels. Before we talk NFL scheduling, I got to get to this, and I don't enjoy doing it, but huge news for a former Pirate player who has caught apparently the Georgia speeding disease. Jamarlee Riddle, enjoyed covering him when he was at ECU in his first semester at Georgia. Got into some trouble. According to this, by the way, on Fox News, so make it big news here. According to a police report first obtained by WGIG 98.7 FM, Jamarlee Riddle, a transfer from East Carolina, was traveling at a high rate of speed on I-95 on May 8th when one officer driving an unmarked vehicle alerted another officer down the road that the Georgia DB needed to be stopped. Quote, driving a Dodge Durango, Riddle was allegedly observed weaving in and out of traffic at a speed officer suspected to be 95 miles per hour. After approaching the vehicle, an officer noticed the smell of marijuana inside the vehicle, described Riddle as acting extremely nervous during the ongoing traffic stop. According to the report, after telling the officer that he did not possess any controlled substances, he gave them permission to search his vehicle. The officer said, while I was researching the front driver's side, Officer Dinkins pulled a large heat-sealed bag from one of the backpacks in the back seat. Inside the backpack was a large amount of multicolored packaging, some with a leafy substance stating marijuana and some containing vapes stating THC. Riddle was arrested with a felony charge, 2 felony charges, and he also got a misdemeanor charge for speeding. So, not ideal for Mr. Riddle, who, of course, look, I mean, carrying the drugs is bad, but you definitely don't want to be going near 100 miles an hour while carrying them.
Yeah, we'd kind of talked about it. You do one or the other. If you're going to speed, don't have drugs in the car. If you're going to have drugs in the car, don't speed. Probably the safest for everybody out there should not be weaving in and out of traffic at 95. That's just dangerous for all involved. But, dude, it's got to be something in the water at Georgia. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 times in off season there.
It happens. Crazy. I mean, it really, you can't make it up. And obviously we know about it more now with the former Pirate doing it. And, hate it for Jamarlee. Obviously you got to be smarter, but, enjoyed getting to know him here, and hopefully he can bounce back from this. And Shores says in the chat probably earned a starting spot doing that at Georgia. So, I mean, it has become a running joke at this point. Like, for those that don't follow the college football offseason, Georgia football players and speeding.
It's almost like a rite of passage. Yeah. I mean, it's wild.
So, crazy stuff with Jamarlee Riddle. We'll see how that unfolds. You think he plays game 1? Let's see who Georgia opens with.
I think there's a good chance because these guys also don't ever seem to really get a big suspension, or at least maybe I just don't pay close enough attention to UGA football.
They open with Tennessee State, and then they play Western Kentucky. So even
he may get a slap on the wrist.
He may get a 1-game suspension. But he will be back for Arkansas on September 19th.
So was he practicing in the spring, though? There was something I read that made it seem like he was already back from the injury and practicing.
There was footage of him practicing.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
So he was out there. I guess it wasn't that serious, but he was in gear, practice gear. So we'll see what happens with Jamarly. All right. The NFL schedule is out, and we finally know when Broncos-Panthers is going to take place. Week 9, it'll be November 8th. And we're definitely going to this, Philip. My question is, ticket pricing.
Yeah.
Should we go ahead and act quickly, or should we wait? Because I could see a scenario here where Denver comes in with a much worse record given the start of their schedule, which we can get to, and maybe prices drop as a result of that. Also, the Panthers, I know they have a somewhat easy start to the schedule, but
yeah, they're not going to come in with...
Is the excitement going to be died down by week 9 versus us finding out?
Yeah, I think it will be a little bit. The tough thing I think too is we got to figure out like bodies, like who's going. So it's me, you, and Thomas. The great thing is ECU plays on a Friday night, so me, you, and Thomas are going down Saturday. We've got to make sure Shane does not schedule a their softball, Saturday games that they play. They get like X amount of fall games they can play. He's got to make sure that he doesn't schedule them on that day so he can ride down with us. So that's going to be the tough thing. I think, my family's got 4 seats. That's great, but also I don't think we're there. My dad's definitely going with it being Denver. So if Shane doesn't go, maybe my mom and sister won't go, and then it can be me, you, my dad, and Thomas, and we can just use our seats. But if Shane goes, then definitely my dad can just invite one of his buddies. He's got a few buddies that are Broncos fans. Then my mom, my sister can go, or my sister's boyfriend or something, and then the 4 of us can get tickets. So that's going to be the big thing. We got to get – we might be using our seats anyways, I guess is my point. We got to figure out what Shane's plans are.
Got some plans to figure out, but I feel like date-wise, it falls on the same weekend as ECU hosts USF on a Friday night, so it actually works out pretty well for us. And, it's a pretty good schedule. I went out to Denver last year for a Monday night game, so I don't think I'm going to Denver again this year, but I was intrigued by Rams-Broncos week 3. But I think with my dad being a Rams fan, I think they're already on vacation somewhere else that week. We'll get into the Denver schedule here in a minute. What about the Commanders, Bob? What are we looking at?
A brutal start to the season. Yeah, we were talking about that pre-show, but I mean they open up on the road against 2 division rivals. Philadelphia week 1. Lane Smith, we're coming for you.
He is in the chat. I did meant to mention that. He said third comment of the day. Also, Washington is getting rocked week 1. So.
Okay, here, Lane, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is week 1. The boys are back. Jaden Daniels not going to be injured yet. This is our time to pounce is week 1. I do think by the time we play them, week 8 or whatever, November 1st, it's kind of going to be, it could be back to the old ways, the Eagles Commanders. But regardless, we open up in Philadelphia, then in Dallas, and then come back home week 3 for our first home game against Seattle, defending Super Bowl champs. Then go to London to play Indianapolis. I'm not super concerned about Indy as a team, but London early in the season, then come back, no bye week after the London trip for New York, on the road again to San Francisco, home again against Philadelphia and the Rams. So brutal start.
I just want to say one thing before we get back to that. A little birdie told me last night that Lane is a liar and that Lane is not intending to participate in the watch along, and he's been begging for it for so long, but now supposedly he is going to watch the game and sit by the pool next Friday is what I've been told that Lane is going to be doing. So I just want to tell everybody out there that Lane has either lied to our little birdie, they told me that last night when I got home, do the math on who that person is, and or he's been lying in the chat 4 weeks.
Lane, I thought we had a deal. I thought you were a real one. Apparently you're not. Prove them wrong, man.
It's on par with Philadelphia fans.
Yeah. Lines up perfectly. Are you going to these Commanders games on the schedule?
You know, we have a mutual friend, Mr. Biddlecombe, who is a Seahawks fan, so that's been mentioned. The other one I'm looking at, my sister lives in Nashville as a Titans fan, and so maybe in December. That one's 100% got to run by the wife. But it kind of lines up similar to the Broncos trip last year around my birthday, so that's an easy, hey, this is what I want for my birthday. I want to go to Nashville and go to a Commanders game.
What about Panthers schedule, Phillip? How are you feeling? Are you going to try to attend any other games besides Denver?
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to attend 9 or 10 of them. Would be nice. There's 10 being played at Bank of America Stadium. I will not make the Houston game. I have a bachelor party that weekend. That's a preseason game. It actually works out really good, man. There's home games if there's an ECU Thursday night game. There's some home games paired, I think, during an ECU bye week. There's 4 home games once college football's over, because we got 4 of the last 5 games at home. So, yeah, my mom called me Tuesday night and was like, yo, whatever games you don't go to, these tickets keep going up. We might have to sell them and not just give them away. So let me know. But I'm trying to find the dates that don't work good, and there ain't many. So sorry, Mom.
The other thing, kind of adding into we y'all talking about when to buy tickets, looking at the Panthers schedule right before y'all play, it is Detroit, at Philadelphia, Tampa, and at Green Bay. That's this tough stretch of 4. Phillip, you've talked about Carolina fans being up and down. If they have a bad stretch in that 4, maybe the prices come down a little bit.
Yeah, they're fair weather crap fan base anyway. So
yeah, I'm expecting a lot of fellow Denver fans when I go inside Bank of America Stadium. Hunter Corbett says, Pilk, you got to hook up for Panthers Ravens.
Okay. Yeah, so no, I'm down.
He's asking a question.
Yeah. So here's the only thing that's weird without that. I think I'm at home the weekend before I'm in Charlotte the weekend before because it's ECU Charlotte. I'm at home the week before that because there's it's the Panthers Broncos game. And then the following week I'm going to go home for Thanksgiving. That's going to be the weird thing. Do I want to go home 4 times, make that drive 4 times in 3.5 weeks? However, the Ravens are the only team I have never seen play a regular season game. I've only seen the Ravens play twice, and both times in the preseason, so I do need to check that off. So I am intrigued by that one, but yeah, we'll see, because it does pair, I think, with the ECU Thursday night game or something, or a bye week or something or another. I can't remember.
Fun fact on that, Pilk, the Ravens have not played a regular season game in Charlotte since Lamar Jackson's rookie year, which Joe Flacco was actually starting.
Wow.
Lamar came in late and threw his first touchdown pass, but Flacco actually started the game.
Wow, I did not realize that. I didn't go to that game because one of my buddies from back home, the girl he was dating, was a Ravens fan. So my dad went, my sister went, and then he took my buddy and the buddy's girlfriend. And then 8 years before that would have been, what year are we in? We're in
26.
So that would have been 2010. Oh, they were 2-10. I had, we were playing in a Christmas basketball tournament. We ended up having a game fall on a Sunday. And it sucks because my buddy was the honorary captain and got to go out for the coin toss. We were 2 and whatever anyways. Brian St. Pierre started that game, only start for him in Panthers history. So I've never seen the Ravens play. And then in 2002, I was too young to go to games.
Jansen Kidd, Jaguars fans in the chat. He says Jags looking to extend their winning streak at Mile High, and the Commanders are taking a trip down south. Going to be a fun year.
Oh, that's right. Jansen has reached out about a potential trip down there to Jacksonville, too. That'd be a lot of miles, but at least a warm weather late trip.
If you guys want to see a real atmosphere, you can go to Mile High September 20th, the Jaguars or Broncos. Although, look, Denver opens at Kansas City, Jacksonville, Rams, at Niners, at Chargers, Seahawks. I mean, that is...
I might go 0-6.
Legitimately, usually you get, at least one game in there. Give me the Dolphins in there, just so we can get a win. A guaranteed win.
Raiders.
There's no get-right game in there. Just 6 straight of just misery.
Dude, it'd be great if y'all got Mendoza early.
I know, yeah. I mean, and we get them twice in a span of 3 weeks late in the season, or 4 weeks. So, yeah,
By that point, Kirk Cousins will have been brought in to save the season, and they'll win 4 games in a row with Kirk Cousins playing.
I'm nervous about the start. I do kind of like getting KC first game off Mahomes' injury, but they'll be amped up. They do at least get Seattle at home on a short week, which is, typically Thursday night games, home team advantage. But we'll see. 5 primetime games for the Broncos. How many for the Commanders?
4.
4 and 3 for the Panthers, right?
Most since 2016, baby.
Man, all our teams are looking up.
4 and London and The first two games are the Fox game of the week or whatever at Philly and at Dallas.
There you go. NFC East, man. Just, people can't get enough. Can't wait for Giants Cowboys to start the season.
Yeah, no kidding.
In a night game. All right, we'll get a break in. We'll come back. We'll wrap the show after this.
The power of savings is yours at Greenville Toyota with powerful deals on our huge selection of new Toyotas, like a Camry, $229 a month, or the all-new RAV4, $279. Don't miss the power of savings at Greenville Toyota.
In Eastern North Carolina, hard work matters, and it always has. At Flatlands Insurance Group, we've been showing up for our neighbors since 1963, helping families and business owners navigate change, weather tough seasons, and keep moving forward. Decades later, our purpose hasn't changed: to help protect what you've poured your time and energy to, from your home to your health to whatever comes next. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world covered.
Need cash for a vacation? National Finance Company is here to help. For over 50 years, National Finance Company has been the small loan specialist with loans from $1,000 to $5,000 with low payments to meet your budget. We're in the business of getting you the cash you need today. Apply online for a loan at one of our convenient branch offices and get your money as fast as today. It's easy. Get the vacation cash you need. For extra cash, visit nfcmoney.com.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College. Register now.
Visit Larry's Steakhouse for a tender, hand-cut certified Angus ribeye. Other entrees include perfectly seasoned pork chops, chicken, or seafood favorites like shrimp, tuna, and salmon. Complement your meal with Larry's fresh 20-plus item salad bar, or enjoy it as an all-you-can-eat entree. Daily rotating favorites include meatloaf, chicken pastry, hamburger steak, spaghetti, pork chops, and more, all complemented with your favorite country sides. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, or our Sunday brunch, remember to support and eat local. Larry's Steakhouse.
A hunting and fishing event of the summer comes to the Greenville Convention Center, July 11th and 12th, bringing together the best hunting and fishing vendors, outfitters, and fishing experts, all under one roof. Special free events, including a mountain trout pond, indoor archery range, offshore fishing experience, interactive duck blind, and free seminars. Don't miss it. The Mid-Atlantic Hunting and Fishing Expo is July 11th and 12th.
With new Toyota trucks from $259 a month, you've got the power of savings at Greenville Toyota. Drive Tacoma's $259 a month or Tundra's only $399 a month at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Like all pirates, Stephen Igo is loyal and bold. He may also have a touch of scurvy. Back to Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
A few minutes of the show. Bobby Howard in studio. Philip Pilkinen producing. And we haven't talked MLB in a while, gentlemen. We'll get a quick update here on all our teams, which are all under 500. Some doing worse than others.
Was that directed at me?
Yes. The Boston Red Sox, 18-25. Have they picked it up at all since firing Cora?
A little bit. Not much. They picked it up because, the first two times through, each guy had a bad start. And it's fine. You can live with that early. The staff has really come together, despite some injuries. But, you got to try to hit the ball. You got to try to score runs. Gosh, if I had $1 million for every run they scored, I would still be poor. They can't score.
What about in that same division, your Orioles, Bobby? I feel like they're always 3 or 5 games under 500.
Dude, I'm so over Mike Elias. I am so over his construction of a major league roster. Sure, he can build a farm system, yippee-yay. But when it comes time for them to step up into the major leagues, a lot of those guys aren't performing with the exception of Gunnar and Adley. And then his free agent signings, starting rotation additions, just suspect. I mean, we have the second worst run differential in the AL, third worst in Major League Baseball. So somehow, miraculously, we're sitting in third in the AL East in only 2 games out of the wild card, but it's just a matter of time.
Y'all have a worse run differential than the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is bad.
Seattle not doing a lot better, but they do have a plus 16 run differential. The AL in general is terrible. Seattle is 7-1 against the Astros, so at least they have conquered that demon dating back to last year. Are we a believer in the Tampa Bay Rays? Best record in the AL, 28-14. Is this going to last?
They're going to find a way to, I think, just stay relevant throughout the year. Now, do they win the division? Probably not. I think other teams catch up to them, but I do think they're relevant in the wild card hunt all year.
Tim Smith says Cincinnati Reds, baby, and they are above 500, but they're also in last place in the NL Central, which is somehow, as of May 15th, this will not last. It is the best division in baseball.
We also is the worst division in baseball.
I know.
On paper, it's the worst.
Pirates and Cardinals. The Pirates were expected to be good this year, but the Cardinals, 7 games above 500. I don't expect that to last. So, sensing a drop-off. The Braves continue to kill it, though. So, good for Braves fans, I guess.
Braves are – dude, the White Sox. What do we think of the White Sox, dude? They're over 500 right now.
It's 5 in a row. They walked off the Mariners and took 2 out of 3 from Seattle, so I was pretty ticked about that. Gavin Williams and the Guardians are 24-21. So, hey, we're still very early in MLB, but good to get a check in there. And we'll continue to do that throughout the summer. Bobby? Good knucks, man. That was a good one. Philip, appreciate you.
I could hear that.
Yeah. It was a solid knuckles. All right, we got to get out of here. We'll see how the rest of the weekend unfolds. ECU baseball, a lot to play for tonight and tomorrow. And we'll update the standings. We'll know the conference tournament come Monday at 12 noon. We'll see you then to break it all down on Hoist the Colors.